Hey,
So are we gonna talk about Futurama or do we want to just talk about yarn?
we can talk about whatever we want to because we make the
That's
rules.
fair.
So,
So the original wear car was built in 2019. And by 2019, Calculon said 2019.
hmm.
So that's something that happened.
There was a reference in one of the episodes I watched today that was something they lost something in the war of 2012, and I thought, oh,
Okay.
oh dear. And
Yeah.
something else was like in 2016, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's rough and sometimes it's like, I mean, there's only so much you can do, it was made in 2000 and like,
Yeah, and then I
yeah,
think back
stuff is gonna happen, but
to like when it aired, like, oh
mm,
yeah, that's kind of in the future, but it's like a reasonably non-distant future. It's like those are
mhm,
years that are probably going to happen in my lifetime, but like
right.
now
And
they have
like,
happened and now
because I'm
they feel
thinking
like
now about like when Bender went back in time and
to be
Al
like,
Gore drove the cab and he was like Bender was gonna give him $100 and then Al Gore is like, oh no, that could have bought me 1 gallon of gas. But I don't remember what year that was supposed to be. I don't remember what year that was.
uh,
I haven't gotten there yet, but yeah.
yeah. Well, um so since we restarted the Futurama series
Mhm.
yesterday, we
Yeah.
must now proceed in exact order
Well,
by
yeah.
of my child. So
Sure, sure.
yeah.
I mean,
And
and also just because
well, yeah, it is, the law. But I was
it
in
is the
like
law.
season 6 because it was after the reboot.
You were on before we started again yesterday.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe I'll like skip a few when he's
Sure.
like not looking and be like, oh yeah, I watched
Yeah,
those.
we're over
They're
here now, bud.
cool. Even though he is always here when I'm here. I work.
Right, right, right.
I leave for work before he leaves and get home.
Yeah,
Whatever. He'll believe it, probably. We'll find out.
probably. We'll see.
So local yarn store day
Local
was
yarn store day. Yeah. We went to a couple
yesterday.
places.
We did. And one was actually new to me. I hadn't been there before. I'd seen
Hmm.
pictures, but had not been. So that was nice. And then the other was, our local favorite because our friend owns it. So
Right, right. Klaus is also here and he says hi with his.
oh, hello,
So,
Cloud.
yeah.
You
But yeah,
know,
no, we had a good time looking at yarn and we got some fun yarn. One thing that they did at the new store that I haven't seen before and I have so many questions about is their miscellaneous bin. So
yeah.
like they had this bin of just randomly caked yarn. And some of them had labels and some of them didn't.
Mhm.
And
Some of them were recognizable
some
and
of
some of
them are
them.
recognizable, some of them weren't. And then there's a Klaus. Yep, there he is. Uh not making him up. So then someone blackmailed me into picking up a yarn, and then all the yarns in there were $10 also. Someone blackmailed me into picking up this yarn, and by blackmailing me, I mean the statement was given, if you don't take it, I will.
Yeah.
So
How is that
this is a
blackmail? It,
yarn.
it sounds like I am being just generous and letting you first dibs at a beautiful yarn.
It really is. Have absolutely no idea what it is or how much of it there is. It
It's
looks
yarn.
to be worsted.
Really?
Yep,
Hmm.
worsted weight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my statement on this. Is it
There
looks
you
like it's a worsted weight yarn.
go.
Let me just double check. Yeah, no, there's no label in this. Some of them had labels, some of them didn't. This was one
Yeah.
that didn't have labels.
Mm.
But another one of those yarns that was in there, I haven't weighed this. The other one is this. And it's like a very white with gray speckles.
like a lightly very like ombre kind of gray.
Yeah, there's grays and whites and very, very pale gray and
Yeah,
very dark
like a
gray. I mean, you can kind of see
semi-solid.
the dimensions there.
Yeah.
It's 145 grams.
So more to
So
love.
there's plenty here. There's plenty here. I assume like someone started, it's a leftover from some project. They
Yeah,
got into the next skein. I don't know if it's like the people who own that shop and then they're just like, well, I don't want this yarn hanging around all the time. So I'll take it
right.
back to the shop and sell it on sale. But yeah, so now I have 145 grams of this. This one looks like a fingering weight yarn. Very lovely yarn. Don't have any information about it. But yeah, it was $10 for 145 grams of fingering weight yarn.
Now
So
it does bear a striking resemblance to a yarn in the shop that was
yes, it
a
does.
straight up sock yarn with like a 20 or 25% nylon.
So I think the sock yarns were, yeah, 80/20, but then
Yeah.
there were also some that were just fingering weight merino.
Yeah.
So it's one of those.
Yeah.
There we
Mm.
go.
Or it could be like there was like
Something else.
a merino rambouillet blend.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, it
doesn't
could
tell
be
you how
that.
much is what, but it's like 100% wool.
Yep, it's
Of
100% wool. It's gray.
fine wool
There's a
breeds.
bunch of it. Not mad.
Very nice.
Not mad.
I'm amused that I was carrying it around and we were looking for yarn to make the project. And then
Yeah.
I was like, wait,
Wait, this one
what
works.
about this one?
Speaking of, here's the other yarn for that project. I guess I don't need to hold all of them, but I'm gonna because of course I will.
They're pretty.
They're pretty. So
Ooh,
here's all of
yeah.
these. They're browns and grays, and there goes Klaus.
Okay.
He's off now.
Hold them up and still because your camera is trying to adjust for the color. And like, yeah, there it is. It's
Yeah, I was gonna do that with one of them. I didn't need to do that with all of them.
no more, more,
More.
more. Yes, all the yarns. Excellent. Thank
There we
you.
go. So yeah, this is Kim Dye's yarns. There we go, hand dyed in Virginia, it says. And this
Mhm.
is the color Digging for Worms.
I didn't even know that.
You didn't?
No, when we picked it up to
Oh,
be dirt, digging for
yeah.
worms.
Yeah, this one's
Excellent.
Digging for Worms. So we're gonna have Digging for Worms and Mystery Gray. And these are gonna go together to be the Fossil Frenzy tee. Which is designed
Adorable.
by Mary P. Hunt.
Very
So
nice.
that's the thing that's going to happen. So yeah, we've got all of our layers of things, which when we get to that point, we will see what Stephanie, would like to say about this, because someone might have a bachelor's degree in geology. It isn't me. But we'll see. Because I mean, obviously it's variegated or something. There's multiple colors in here, so we're probably going to get some amount of striation and layers and things like that. And then
Mhm.
we've got our fossils.
Very.
So that's going to be a thing that happens probably sooner rather than later.
I'm excited to see that. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna
that's going to be fun. It's
be
kind of been hanging around in my favorites for a while. And
Mhm.
then it was like, you know what? It's time. Let's do it. Let's go there. And I mean, really, once there was the digging and the worms, like
Yeah.
you can't not with that.
It really makes
You
the most
can't
sense.
not.
So since yesterday, have moved this yarn back and forth to different bags a couple of times
Okay.
for a different project, but
Sure.
this was my miscellaneous bin find, which I can't not love it. It's like Technicolor rainbow, but
Mhm.
like in a fruit punch kind of way. So it's got like some cool blues and some like nice, really hot pink, and I think it's just gonna be a really cool color.
Uh-huh.
And it came with a label. The label is somewhere in the living room. So because it's not in this bag.
Yeah.
But did make it easy to match a coordinating color. So I grabbed a skein of this too. And then together they're gonna make something really neat.
And
So
that
that's
is
my
like,
find
we
from the
did
new
check because yeah, yours had a label and the color lab is with the variegated
Yep.
rainbow is.
Yep. And they're both
So,
DK. So I was looking through DK patterns, and initially in my head it was baby sweater, but it's also like not super wash wool, which is always kind of a hit or
no,
miss.
no, 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 no. You should do, okay,
Oh,
you know the socks that I sent you that one time recently, and you were like, oh my gosh, how did you get these socks done so quickly? And I was like, no, 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 I didn't do them. I'm just showing them to you, but they're like
yeah.
the garter stitch short rows.
Yes.
You should
Sounds
not
fun.
do the socks, but like one of those garter stitch short row things.
Okay.
That was super helpful and very coherent. Uh,
Absolutely. Garter
I know.
stitch row things.
Garter stitch short row things. Yup, exactly. I'm looking through Ravelry right now to try and figure out
Okay.
like what it actually is. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just garter stitch short row, but the socks are called Elliptica.
Ooh, fancy.
Um,
Elliptica.
yeah, like
Oh.
these, except then I
Mhm.
think I'm gonna go with Linnea Ornstein has like a whole bundle
Mhm.
of these garter stitch short row projects.
Hmm.
It's short row color work. Yay.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
So
So I
there's
mean, obviously you
something
don't quite have
there.
enough for the shawl, but like that cowl,
Mm-hmm.
or there's a hat in here, I
Whoa.
think. Right? Like these are
That swirly twirly one was really cool.
the swirly twirly one. There's this one. This one.
No, it was on
Oh,
the left side and it's on a white background with,
this
yeah,
one.
let's see. Oh my,
Yes.
wow.
That one is really awesome.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that's there's also, little mittens
Mm-hmm.
or bags and things. But yeah, you should do that's my vote. Okay, here's one of the
Yeah. Yeah,
uh
something like that.
maybe that headband is like a folded twisty headband.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, one of these garter stitch short row things. These I think are like fingerless mitts. So you
Okay.
do the rectangle and then like
Mm-hmm.
just don't seam them all the way up.
Yep.
But yeah, I
Hmm.
think that's what this is too. So that's my vote on those. You asked me yesterday and I had not a good
Okay.
answer. I think this is a
Yeah.
better answer.
Okay.
I think this is a better answer to what you should do with those
They're
because
really pretty.
these patterns are gorgeous.
We're definitely. And
Hmm.
I do love some short rows,
You
so
do love some short rows, and again, it's
yeah.
garter stitch, and
Mm-hmm.
something like
Mm-hmm.
the hats or the cowls, like it really does a really good job because like if you look at the elliptica socks and you
Mm-hmm.
look at the patterns that people have done, the projects that people have done, and you get into like some of the very variegated yarns, they look so cool. Like
Whoa.
this one,
Wow.
right?
I like the apples that we
I do
just
like the apples. The apples are
yeah,
good.
good. It
Good
looks like we
job.
have different fruits actually on
Yeah, 2-0, I
different.
guess. Yeah, it looks like here's a squash or something.
Mm. What's the picture right above that one?
Oh no,
Looks like
don't
an
see it.
assembly photo.
So yeah, I guess you knit it flat because it's
Yeah.
garter stitch short rows, and then you come in and pick up the heel, and then you go in and
Mm-hmm.
like pull up the toe. So it's kind of afterthought heel-esque.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now my brain's busy. All right.
Neat. So yeah, maybe not so much for that, for the socks, but
But yeah.
something like that.
hmm
I am also just kind of obsessed with those socks for, I feel, obvious reasons. So
yeah.
they're just on my brain. I feel like it's justified. I feel like it's warranted.
I'd say so. They're
They're
beautiful.
very cool patterns.
hmm
Lots of good yarn combinations that, other people have done. Good for them. Hooray.
Like window shopping, but
Exactly. Yeah.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
ooh. Well, then the next yarn store
And
happened.
the next yarn store happened. Yay. And
Our
this one,
friend was there, so that was cool. We got to say hi to her.
yes, our friend was there. She
Always a
helped
good.
us with many things, including finding all the encore. Because I think that's all we bought, isn't it?
I think, yeah,
Yeah, that's all we
yeah.
bought was various flavors
I
of
just
encore.
bought Encore.
Today.
Yeah.
Yarn was also ordered, but that we'll save for later. But the things that came home were all encore. So
Yes.
here you go.
Ugh, I have mine.
You have yours.
I
Nice.
do. I have it to show off because
Hooray!
I just slid the label off of this green that I did not buy yesterday.
No.
It's not as neon as it may look. It's more of like a lighter spring green.
Mhm. Which
Maybe
has been
here.
on the podcast before.
It has starring
When
as a dinosaur blanket because
yes.
I made a blanket out of it. But I bought
Mhm.
4 skeins then, and I knew I had some leftovers, and so Rebecca wandered over to the wall of Encore and suggested, she didn't definitely just tell me what to do, and I'm like definitely into that. So she picked out this really cool, like it's the color spun of Encore. So it's like got some little twisty things going on here. It's really nice. It's Encore, so it's got that like almost woolly feel to it, but it is very
Mhm.
washable,
Yeah.
which is good because it's a baby blanket. So there you go. So I'm mixing this with the green that I already had and doing like a grandmother's dishcloth situation,
Mhm.
um, which I started today.
Yay.
And not to brag, but I made it through the first skein.
Woo!
Yes.
Yay.
It is held double and it is very squishy.
So
So
squishy.
squishy.
So squishy.
Wow, yeah. It's
Oh,
really nice.
goodness. I don't know when we had this conversation, but we've had a conversation. It might have even been last summer. I don't know. But somebody was losing some mojo. And I was like, you know what you need to do? You need to do like a giant chunky project that just goes. And that will really help because it's like, yay, I've done something. I've made some progress. This is good. Hooray. So, yay, now you're doing that.
Yeah. Yes, because I finally hit the blocking stage of another project I've been working on that has been on the podcast before as well. It's Orange. It was on Orange Day when we were all
Yeah, I was on Orange Day. Mm-hmm.
and this is the amount of yarn I have left over, which gives me a little concern because I still need to do seaming and the ribbing around the neck and the
The
armholes.
armholes, yeah, because it's like a
Ugh,
or a slip over or whatever
a
sleeveless top, whatever one
shekel.
we're using
I
today,
don't
these days.
know
I don't
the
know.
real words for basically like a tank top, but not as tanky.
Yeah, it's not a camisole. Like
No.
it's got like it's basically just it's a sweater, it just doesn't have sleeves. It's just got a little bit of ribbing because it's
It's
like
just
a full-on sweater body. Like it's got the
right.
exact same, thanks class,
Yeah.
shaping on the front and the back as you would do for a real sweater, for a regular
Mhm.
sweater.
Yep.
Well, for like with offset seams, with offset sleeves.
And
It just doesn't have sleeves.
and cabling.
And
So
it's
much cable.
cabling. There's
So much
all the
cable.
cables.
No, it looks great.
It does.
Wonderful.
Looks
I
beautiful.
will love it so much when it's done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. So then, So yes, you got some lovely yellow encore to be paired with encore you already had.
Fast busting.
Net effect here is the yellow is going away and some green that was sitting left over from a project that was already done is also going to go away.
Yeah.
So that is very good.
So for friends of the program who know that my yarn stash is not small, this is good.
Good. I mean, it's one of those things that like some yarn people don't understand, but it's like, yes, it's worth buying 3 skeins of yarn to get rid of 2 that were at your house.
Mm-hmm.
Because then the 5 of them together are a whole project.
Right. And
You
it's not
know?
just like a junky, skunky project to get rid of
Right.
things.
Right.
Like,
It's not just a, oh, well, I guess I can do this just to get rid of it. It's like, no.
yeah.
This is going to be a good thing. It's going to be a full thing. It's
Yeah.
all gonna, go together and be good. So yeah, sometimes you have to do those things,
Mhm.
I got some Encore tweed, and this is actually like a very dark navy,
Mhm.
but in grand Encore tradition, it doesn't actually have a name. It is 5854. Hooray.
I'm
And
gonna
this
call it
too, I
Midnight
got 5 of them.
Starry Skies.
What?
I have named it Midnight Starry Skies.
That works. I like it. We're going to stick with it. That's what it's
Yep.
called now. If you're anyone from Plymouth, please make that note and change all of your records because Stephanie's right. And you're just going to have to adjust. Sorry.
Yep. That's how this works.
Yeah. So I have 5 of these that are going to turn into the downward spirally sweater by Anna and Heidi Pickles.
And that's the name, Downward Spirally.
Downward spirally. Yeah, that is the name.
Yep, it's an adverb.
It is. And so
Very
I looked at the pattern. I have the pattern. We've got like a nice folded over, pretty substantial neck. It's not
I like that though.
super tall, but it's folded over. But it's not like it's a pretty high crew. I don't think it's like a mock turtleneck or anything. Anyway, and then it's a circular yoke that you increase with these spiral bits, and the spiral bits are like a fake cable kind of thing because you can see the whole thing is like stockinette. But yeah,
Nice.
like a nice basic sweater with just like a little bit of extra pizzazz. So, and when you get the sweater, fun little tip, it gives you both the Norwegian and English versions all in one PDF.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
So I
fun.
was like going through it at first and I was like, I don't know these words. And then I went back to the beginning. It's like, oh, okay, this is the Norwegian one. And I kept going and then I got to the English part.
Ah,
So you get both. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes with like all the little flecks and neps and the tweedy bit.
I think it'll be nice.
I think it'll be nice.
It'll still show the pattern and
Yeah.
it'll be like a nice cozy sweater. Like
Yes. Yeah, it should be a very nice cozy sweater. And again, washable because this is another gift that, is going to somebody who certainly appreciates yarn things, but does not make her own yarn things. So, washable things I think are very good in those situations.
yeah.
Don't want to alienate. I just always feel bad. It's like, here's a thing that hopefully you can take care of because otherwise you get to wear it twice and then you've ruined this thing. And I don't want to make anybody feel bad with a gift,
Yeah, and I like especially with the babies in my life lately, they're both new moms and
Yeah.
I don't want to throw another unknown thing into their lives right now.
Right.
If they're like, oh man, we love our wool sweaters and we wash them gently in the tears of, happiness that
Unicorns.
we cry when we wear them, like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Then
Yeah.
I'll go. But like till then, it's okay.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. You get enough going on with the baby. This just goes in the washing machine. It's fine.
Fine.
Yep.
With everything else you own.
Mm-hmm. Many times.
Yeah.
Many, many times. I was gonna say a day, but hopefully not. Hopefully not. Sometimes you can get there, but just like hopefully not. Hopefully there's just enough redundancy at that point that you've got, enough blankets that you don't have to immediately pull it out and
Yeah.
use it.
Right.
So,
The laundry has time to land would be good.
right, right. Yep.
Look how good it looks. Looks so good.
Hey,
Right.
so fun.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm enjoying this.
See?
And it's knitting the 200 yards already. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's
there's a
great.
pill double, so it's really knitting 100 yards, but
I
it is
mean,
with
it's 200 yards, Stephanie. It counts.
okay.
All of it. It
These
counts. It's
are
fine.
size 13 needles, so I feel like I am like waving actual big sticks around. So
Sure, sure. I mean, they're not the 50s. My mom
Mhm.
got me the size 50s one time when they were like new, like when the
Oh,
50s first came out, and they were like
okay.
just they're really thin, so they're not like PVC pipe, but yeah, I mean they were hollow. So
Mm.
and they were big and giant and red, and it was like, thank you. I'm never gonna use these. I don't think I ever did. They were so huge. They were so huge. I really
Oh,
don't think I ever used them.
I've done I've done like broomstick lace
Okay.
with some big needles, but I don't think I've ever really knitted with really big ones.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, I've done like several things of, worsted held together on 15 or 13 or whatever, but I think 15 is really kind of the limit for me
Yeah.
as
I've
far
used
as like,
17s on something, but I don't remember what.
sure, sure.
It's probably some ill-advised novelty yarn hold together situation. And
Yeah. The
yeah,
novelty yarn, it was definitely a thing there for a while.
it really was. And
It
then
really was.
I worry when I see little vestiges of it reappear and I'm like, oh, look at that ribbon yarn. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. But so far,
I mean,
nothing.
now we have like the fur yarn and the chenille yarn, but I feel like that is like so much more knittable than
Hmm.
like the yarn that had the pom-poms in it.
Oh
Or
yeah.
eyelash yarn. Although I'm gonna say something that's gonna make a lot of people mad.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Controversy.
how different is the eyelash yarn from mohair or a Surrey alpaca?
Other than the fact that it's made from plastic and
Yeah.
not animal fiber.
So like, have we really graduated from eyelash yarn, or have
I
we just
mean,
gotten more sophisticated?
or was eyelash yarn just temporary
Like a
removal
placeholder?
mohair?
Yeah, it was like preparing everyone for mohair.
But like mohair's been around.
Well, sure, but like it's really
Definitely
kind of
enjoying
it's having a
popularity.
moment,
It is having a
you
moment. Yeah.
know.
Yes.
And granted, there was some time between the eyelash yarn moment and the mohair moment.
Hmm. We should make a calendar.
Probably a good 10 years, but still. I really feel like the ribbon one is the one that doesn't go away.
It's the laddery ribbon ones that just, and there's something about it. I'm
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
no. And it could be my own, like, I bought some and I didn't know what to do with it. And then
Right, and it's just still haunting you.
no, I gave it away.
Well, that's good.
You proud of me?
I
Yeah,
am proud of you.
good. I am proud of me as well.
Yeah, because I definitely did make a scarf out of that laddery ribbon yarn, but then I like immediately gave it to my sister. And like that was the point of it. In, I don't know, 2005, when like skinny scarves were a thing.
Yeah,
You
my
know?
very first knitting project, circa 2004, was a fun fur scarf
Yeah.
made on like size 15s and
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
knitted
I was
back.
doing a lot of Lion Brand homespun around then. It was like Lion Brand homespun and then like weird novelty yarns with
Mm.
like a drop stitch pattern where you'd like do 4 or 5 rows of garter stitch and then a row of drop stitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that pattern.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. So
Those
that's
were
the
some
thing.
days. Those were some days that
Those
definitely.
were some days. Yeah.
Ooh.
But that was a wrap up from local yarn shop day.
Mhm.
And you know, keep your eyes peeled for any of these yarns coming back in later episodes. Like
Oh,
that one. Yeah,
here. I'm very proud of myself. Can you
you
tell?
should be. That's great. That's also the body of that sweater top, whatever, is done. So hooray, we're proud of you for that. But then B, yeah, you've gotten so far on that baby blanket. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And it's almost dry too. Like it's
The
blocking out
top.
the edges and it's almost dry. So
Nice.
yeah, tomorrow I'll be seaming. And then we'll know if I need more yarn.
Yeah, that'll be a thing.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Yep. Well, here we are, sofa
We are
scraps on our separate sofas, so
on
to
our
speak.
separate sofas, but still, I mean, I don't think anybody's doing scraps today. You've got your blanket. I have a sock that
Yeah,
I'm on. Arcane Fiberworks is
that's
this
pretty.
yarn. Yeah, it looks nice. It's a colorway they don't have anymore, so it doesn't matter if I remember it. Dragon fruit.
Oh, yeah,
That's what
I
it
can
was.
do
It
that.
was dragon fruit.
Well, the volunteer fire department's calling everyone to help them, so that'll be in the sound now.
Sure, sure.
All right,
All right, cool. Well, have fun with your baby blanket.
will do.
Yeah.
Good night. Bye, everybody.